guys. You guys probably know that I really like going to classes, my yoga classes and cycling classes, and I'm getting tired of exercising by myself. So I thought this video would help me feel like I'm exercising with other people and maybe help you guys out too. It's gonna be really basic yoga. I'm gonna have some modifications to make it easier, some to make it harder. And I'm a little rusty. It's been years since I've taught a class, but hopefully I'll do this in 10 to 15 minutes max. So it should be a great finish to any other workout that you've done. It'll be mostly stretching, mostly basic, with a tiny bit of abs thrown in, as well as a fun challenge if you want to try something new. So I'm gonna put the goats away and I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. Alexa is going to be demonstrating the modified version on each pose. So let's get started on your hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're just gonna do a little cat-cow. So you're gonna arch your back, lift your chest, lift your tailbone and inhale. And then as you exhale, round everything. Scoop the abs in, round it out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And one more, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Okay, and then I like to warm up my wrists. So you're gonna take your hands and turn your fingers outward, bringing your wrists almost together, and your fingers and thumbs are spread. And let's just do some small circles in one direction. And then the other direction. Okay, and then if you can gently turn your wrists or your hands backwards so your fingers are facing your knees. And you're just gonna rock side to side, gently lubricating those wrist joints. Okay, and then counter stretch, so just flip each hand over. And then hands back under your shoulders, and you're gonna tuck your toes under, lift your tailbone up, and press back into downward dog. Now the goal here would be to have your tailbone lifted and your legs straight. However, most of you are going to need to bend your knees. I'd rather have your knees bent and your tailbone up than to have your legs straight and your back rounded. So you're gonna press away the floor, lengthening your arms, pressing your head between your shoulders, lifting your tailbone, and then just kind of pedal your feet like you're on a little stair stepper, stretching out the legs, and then lift up onto your toes, and then let your heels drop all the way back. Take a deep inhale here, and then as you exhale, come forward into plank. Alexa is gonna drop to her knees here in plank, so she's still gonna be working her abs and her core from her knees. Hold plank and take a couple of deep inhales and exhales. And then whether you're on your knees or your toes, you're gonna tuck your elbows towards your rib cage and slowly lower all the way down, resting your chest on the floor, hands beneath your shoulders, just a gentle lift into a baby cobra here. You're lifting your collarbone away from you. Your chest is pulling out. And then lower, and then lift up either into a full cobra, which is your legs on the ground, or you can come into up dog, which is where you lift your legs and your knees.
What's up, dog?
And then press back into down dog again. So let's do that cycle 2 more times. You're gonna inhale into plank, exhale, lower, inhale into cobra or up dog, and exhale into down dog. And one more. Inhale into plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, down dog. And take a couple of deep breaths here. Anytime you're in down dog, you can, anytime really, you can drop to your knees and come back into child's pose for a resting position. So come back into down dog, take a deep inhale and exhale, step both feet forward between your hands, bringing your toes together, your heels about an inch apart, bend your knees, sit your bottom down, and then inhale, lift your chest and your arms. And Alexa is going to bring her arms behind her instead, if it's too much stress on your shoulders or your lower back. Put your knees together and keep your legs strong. Keep your chest lifted and take some deep breaths here. You can be low or you can be here. It doesn't matter. Inhale, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, knees bent or straight, look up and flatten your back. Exhale, fold forward, step back to plank. Once again, exhale, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And breathe here a second. Now inhale, take your right leg and reach it behind you. Reach it back toward the back wall if you're indoors. And exhale, step that foot between your hands. I'm gonna stay on my toes. Alexa's gonna drop to her left knee. Her right.
Oh, never mind.
No, she's, no, her right knee. Yeah, okay. So, from this low lunge position, let your hips sink down, but facing forward. We don't wanna cave in or turn out to the side. And then you're gonna inhale and take the arms behind you. Pretend you're an airplane. You're gonna lift your chest up so it's not gonna be caved in, and squeezing your shoulder blades in an aerodynamic position behind you. And hold this position for a few breaths. And then on your next inhale, raise your arms up. Alexa is still on one knee. And we've centered our torso now rather than leaning forward. We're centered it over our hips, reaching toward the sky, letting those hips sink down. Take a few deep breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. And then bring your hands to your heart. You're going to twist and hook your left elbow over your right, pressing the palms of your hands together. I'm gonna switch legs just so you can see what I'm doing from the front. And you're gonna try to bring your hands to the center of your chest. And breathe here. Again, you can be on a knee, or you can have that leg straight. Lots of deep inhales and exhales. Then bringing the hands back to the mat. Step back, exhale as you lower. Inhale into up dog or cobra, and exhale, down dog. Inhale, reach that left leg back behind you toward the back wall. Exhale, step it forward into a low lunge. Get those hips squared up with the floor. Press your right heel back so that right leg is pressed straight if you're on your toes. If you're on your knees, you're still gonna want to lengthen from your knee to your hip. And then inhale, lift your chest and reach those arms behind you, keeping the chest and the collarbone lifted. This may sound silly, but one thing that helps me is to imagine my collarbone smiling rather than caving in or having a flat face. If your collarbone was a mouth, it would be smiling up at the sky. Okay, then inhale, reach the arms up, center your weight over your hips. And a few deep breaths here. If this is hard, my shoulder flexibility is not great. If you turn your pinkies in slightly, it's a little easier to raise your arms up straight. And then hands to your heart, inhale, and exhale as you twist, hooking the right elbow over the left knee, and then see if you can twist a little further to bring those hands to the center of your chest. Little balance challenge too, and we're on a slight hill out here. And then hands back to your mat, step it back, exhale, lower, inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog, reach that right leg up, exhale, step it between your hands. This time you're gonna take your left foot and spin the foot so the heel is on the ground. The arch of your foot is pointing toward the ground. And then it should be, your front heel should be about in line with your back heel and your back foot at a 45-degree angle. And then you're gonna reach up into warrior two. So be careful not to let this right knee cave in. Keep it strong. Reach forward and reach back, and then center it. Looking over your right middle finger for your gaze, if that is okay on your neck. Then inhale, reach your arm up and make a rainbow over your head. To reverse your warrior, you can look up at the sky or you can look down. And then exhale, reach forward, taking the elbow to the knee. Reach that left arm straight up toward the sky. You can stay here, or you can take that right hand to the ground as long as your chest stays open to the side. I like to do the fingertips because I'm not putting all my weight on my hand. You can also rest your palm on the ground. And then inhale, come back up, press that front leg straight, your right leg straight. Exhale, you're gonna first reach forward as far as you can. Stretch it out, and then tip it so you're bringing your fingertips to your shin. You don't want them on your knee, it can be on your thigh, or down towards your ankle. And then look up over your shoulder, triangle pose. You want to imagine you're between two flat planes of glass on either side. So your hips don't tilt forward and your shoulder doesn't tilt forward. Make your body as two-dimensional as you can. I love this stretch.
I love this stretch.
Exhale, take your hands down to the ground, step back, and let's just press straight to down dog this time. You can do that little vinyasa if you want, which is when you lower into the push-up, but it's not necessary. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Spin the right foot flat. And then inhale, reach it up into warrior two. And once again, I'm just gonna switch directions so you guys can see me better. You're gonna reach forward and then back and then center it. Try to get those hips opened up. Make sure that left leg isn't caving in or the left knee isn't buckling forward. And then inhale, make a rainbow over your head and reverse your warrior, either looking down over your right shoulder or up toward the sky. And then back to warrior two. Reach forward and exhale as you take your elbow to your knee and your right arm up. Or you can take those fingertips to the ground as long as your chest is staying open, no caving in. You can even, if you want, we didn't do this on the other side, but you can extend that arm out over your ear for a nice side stretch. And then inhale, come back up, press that left leg straight. Take a nice inhale and exhale, reach forward as far as you can, and then exhale, tip it over into triangle, fingertips to your shin, to your ankle, maybe to the floor. If you feel like you're a little too wide, you can step it in just a bit. And keep that chest nice and open. And then exhale, take your hands down to the mat, step it back. Let's take the little vinyasa, lower, inhale, up dog. Exhale, press back into down dog. And take a couple deep breaths here in down dog. Okay, are you in down dog?
Oh, well, you just got me a down dog.
I was just switching back to this side. Okay, just a couple more things. Exhale and step both feet forward to the outsides of your hands, your toes pointing out, and you're just gonna lower into a yogi squat. So it's important here that your knees and toes are in line with each other. So they're pointing out to about a 45-degree angle. Take your hands to your heart in a prayer position and use your elbows to push your knees out and let your tailbone sink down. One of the most important things about this position is keeping your chest lifted. So if you're caving in like this, it's really a different stretch. Keep your chest lifted and take a few nice deep inhales here. Should feel like a great stretch for your hips, your lower back. I do this all the time when my lower back is tight. So, okay, for a fun little challenge here, and we're on kind of a hill, so might be even a little more challenge for me. If you don't want the challenge, you're just gonna step back to plank. If you do want to try a little challenge, you're gonna place your hands in front of you, spread out those fingertips, come up to your toes from that yogi squat, and I like to lift, we're gonna come into a crow. I like to lift my bottom as high as I can, then make a shelf with your elbows, and you're just gonna start to lean forward till you feel the majority of the weight on your hands, still on your toes. You can stay there, or you can take one toe, then the other, and lift your feet. So you're in a crow. From here, when you're done holding it, you can come down and step back, or you can try to jump back to plank and lower. Come up to up dog. And then press back into child's pose. We have one more little part, just a little bit of abs. So you're gonna come back into plank. Here you can,
modified still?
yeah, you can be on your knees. In fact, Alexa's gonna show, you'll do more of like spinal balance with this.
Yeah.
But if you're in plank,
Do I need to just for spinal balance?
yeah, you're just gonna lift your right leg and then exhale, bring it toward your right elbow. May not go all the way. Keep the toe off the ground. Lift it straight back again. And now bring it towards your left elbow. Lift your right leg. Bring it towards your right elbow. And see, Alexa has modified lift and bring it towards your left elbow. So she's doing it slightly different. Lift one more time and then lower that foot. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. Lift the left leg. Exhale, bring it towards your left elbow. Bring it back. Exhale to your right elbow. Bring it back. Exhale to your left elbow. Bring it back. Exhale to your right elbow. And bring it back. Drop to your knees and sit back in a child's pose. And then let's come to a seated position. 2 more things.
You just said one more.
Okay, from your seated position, you're gonna bend your knees. You're gonna lift your chest so that, again, that collarbone is smiling. We don't want caving in. Lift your chest, and then you can hold on to the backs of your legs, lift those feet off the ground. So this is a modified boat position. You can, from here, there's a couple additions. Reach those arms out. This would be step 2. Step 3 would be to straighten those legs, keeping that chest lifted. Now from here, you're gonna lower and lift. Lower, we're doing this 5 times. Exhale as you lift. The modified would just be knees in and out. Lower, lift. Last one, lower and lift and come forward. Okay, last thing, you may be doing a lot of sitting since you're not out shopping. And sciatic nerve can become a problem, low back tightness. So this is one stretch that can help relieve the pressure of sciatic nerve pain or help prevent it. It's double pigeon. So you're just gonna, from a cross-legged position, you are gonna take your right shin, your right leg, and stack it on top of your left shin so that they're lined up with each other. I'm gonna face this way so you can see. So my right knee is on top of my left foot, and my left foot is on top of my right knee. Or whatever, you get it. Anyway, and then you may have seen me just kind of wiggle forward to get up on the ends of my tailbone so that I'm not slouching back. So try to lift the chest and shoulders. I have pretty flexible hips. This is not hard for me, but it's really hard for most people.
Hard for me.
So you may be right here, that's fine. You may be using that right hand to push your knee down gently. If you're where I am and you need more, you can start to walk your hands forward, leaning your chest past your shins so that you're not rounding your back. And just hold this here. Try to take some deep inhales, and on the exhale, see if you can relax just a little bit more into the stretch. And then come back up, and we're just gonna gently switch sides. So right leg down, your left shin stacks on top of the right shin, left foot on the right knee. Lift the chest up. Once again, you may be up here and you're probably feeling it right there in the hips, and that's fine. You can use that hand to press the knee down, lift your chest up, and if you want to, if you need it, you can walk your hands forward. Hopefully this video was not too long for you. Hopefully you were able to understand. Helps me when I feel like I'm working out with other people, even though I can't see and hear you. But that is all we have. Thanks for joining us.